Welcome to the Storykeepers, a space dedicated to people who crossed oceans and carried the world with them in suitcases. Today, we are going to hear from a guest who has walked this path with curiosity and commitment to growth, showing us how the immigrant experience shapes not just where we live, but also who we become. She is a dentist, a lawyer, and a PhD student of public health. Let's welcome Shilpa. Hi Shilpa.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
Doing very well, little anxious, but I'm okay.
Okay. We'll be fine. Okay. So the first question, before I kind of get into the actual conversation, do you remember the day or that moment where you, as an individual or maybe as a family, decided that you are going to move?
Okay, decided. I do remember that, but more than that, I remember all my first driving, first time going to school by myself, first lecture. Those things I remember more than that decision or the day I landed.
Okay, but then did you always know that you are going to be moving to this country?
No.
Okay, so then walk me through a little bit with respect to how that was.
I always say that I'm a passive immigrant. Those who really want to come here to study or to do job, they are active immigrants, H1B visa or F1. But I came on H4. I never, when I got married, I didn't know that one day I'll land in US.
Exactly.
So it's like after getting married, after 2 years, my husband, he got an opportunity and then he's like, okay, we are going to US. First I thought okay, it will be for a few years. Let's go and explore new country. But I never thought that I have to establish there everything, I'll have to start from zero. I never thought about it. It was just okay, we are going on a vacation, like that. I was so immature, but yeah, it was like that.
Okay, interesting. But then your husband was already here. He did his masters.
He did his masters here.
Okay.
And then after that, in 2009, he came back to India. Then he was working there. Then we got married. It was arranged marriage. And I had little hint, I know I told him, you have studied there, you have worked there, you may get opportunity in future, but remember, I want to die in my own country.
Oh,
that
wow.
was my sentence for him.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So that's how in my wildest dreams also, I never thought that I want to go or I want to have life there. No.
Wow.
So I'm a proper example of passive immigrant.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay, so what do you remember about the first month in the US when you came here?
Okay, so I came in 2012 and I remember I just had finished my final year LLB exam, and within few days, within a week I guess, we came to US. Yeah, and so after coming here, within my husband, he knew I'm on H4, I cannot do anything, so only option is studying. And we both discussed that I was interested in public health, so I enrolled myself in UTD for health policy, and that first semester I did in UTD. So he started calculating, now you have to learn driving, because he was in a traveling job. He used to travel from Monday to Thursday.
Oh.
So he was who will drop you? You have to do it by yourself. So he enrolled me, he didn't enroll me, he taught me how to drive, and immediately after coming I think it would have been different if I would have got used to the roads and the rules here. Immediately after coming I was in a jet lag, and within a week or two he was sit and let's drive, like that. And he enrolled me in GRE class, GRE English class. That was a really funny experience, so it was GRE English class. So I will have to take a GRE, so I was okay, let's go for a class. So he enrolled me in UT Arlington. So they have GRE lessons for English, for language, verbal. So I went for that class. I still remember, I sat in the class for 3 hours. Believe me, I did not understand a single word.
Oh, wow.
I came out of that class crying, and I told him I'm not going to do it. Because I never watched so many Hollywood movies. Indian English is okay, but accent, I did not understand the accent. And I feel from that point now, going to conferences and giving presentations, I have come a long way.
For sure.
There's still a long way to go, but still I feel proud of myself.
For sure.
From that
of
point,
course.
yeah. So same way, like when I was in first semester at UTD, so one of the professors, he used to talk in like very colloquial language and very like his jokes were like very local.
Yeah, and the slang.
Yeah, slang and
that
everything.
they
I
use.
never used to understand anything, but everyone used to laugh, so I used to laugh.
Out of compulsion.
Out of compulsion, because I should not feel like how full I am. So I used to laugh because everyone is laughing.
Yeah.
It was like
How was your experience with the people in your class? Did they make you feel like you're different and you don't belong here, or were they helpful?
I think I really appreciate this country for that, because I feel in India English is not a language; it's a skill.
I agree.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
So everyone judge you. Everyone judges you because of because based on your English skills. But here they appreciate. They appreciate, oh, it's not your first language, still you are communicating, still you are trying to do that. So that boosted my confidence. And that, oh, I can do it. So I really appreciate that. And it's like how the differences in language and culture difference, it's like, I think it was an enriching experience as a human being for me. So if I can say about like a cultural difference.
Of course, yeah.
So one of my friend, Kenyan friend, we are very good friends. It's been a decade. Still we are very good friends. So one of the evening we are just like talking about intricacies of life and everything. And she just like randomly said like, I really like your hair. And immediately I said like, but I have grey strands. And her response was like, so what? That it was so simple yet profound. And it really kept me thinking, oh wow, like it literally, it pointed my bubble of insecurity. And I was like, I need to think about it, because see, it's like, again, it's very personal. I never dyed my hair for fun. It was out of compulsion. And that made me think like, do I have to surrender to my compulsion like that?
Yeah,
do I need to do that?
Yeah.
And from that point onwards, like I decided, because it's like, it's perception, right?
Totally.
Like being Indian, we have like, okay, we should be like this. We should be like this. And my hair started graying like in early 20s. So I used to apply henna, and it was really like time like cumbersome
to
job
keep
for me.
up to
Keep up
that.
to that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I like.
Yeah.
So it was like, and when I decided after that conversation, like I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
And it
what
is
freedom!
It is a liberating experience.
Yeah.
It is such a liberating experience.
Yeah.
I love it. And from that point onwards, I stopped putting henna on my.
How lovely! How lovely!
So these are like learnings culturally. Like we always try to put ourselves in that box. Or like we always try to say like yes or no, right or wrong. So I think
there is grey in life.
Yes, yes.
Okay, interesting. So going back to those days where you were at UTD and trying to complete your GRE course, what course did your life take after that? Like, did you finish your UTD course or your GRE? Where did life land you after that?
So I did not complete my MPP, that is Masters in Public Policy, where I wanted to do health policy, because I got into MPH, which was my ultimate goal, Masters in Public Health.
Okay.
And that also like that was just like to get acquainted with US education system, and that's when we decided like we'll do, at least we did not want to waste time. So we decided that let's have like enroll in the university and get it, so that if we can transfer the credit, we will do that. But later on, like we applied for MPH, and that is also a funny story. I was like I thought like, oh, I'm in United States. I don't know if I'm capable enough or not. So I was not ready to apply to the schools which are like.
So I'll just stop you there. So you are a dentist.
Yes.
You are a lawyer.
Yeah.
You have actually pursued all your interests in life, in spite of achieving so much. You still felt that.
I feel fear of unknown is so real. It is real. Because I did not know about like in education system here, because I did not do that homework, because I never wanted to come, so I didn't do that homework. So that fear of unknown was there, and I had like so many doubts about myself, because I was judging myself.
There you go. Yeah.
So I thought like, okay, so one day we were looking for schools, and Rohan told me, like my husband, oh, there is school in Dallas. UT Health, they have a regional campus. I was like, I know that, but I know that, but I'm not going to get admission in that. And he was like, why are you like talking like, why are you thinking like that? But it started from there. But I got into it. We applied and we got it into it. So I switched to MPH, and then I completed my MPH.
Okay.
So I didn't complete the UTD MPP.
Okay, but that must have been like being on the education journey
Yeah.
was more to do with doing something and then waiting to resolve the visa issues and other things. So when the kids came along, when you were interacting with the locals here, how did they make you feel at the time when you went with your kids to the school or to those social gatherings? How did you cope up with the cultural transitions there? Because there are certain rules that you follow in your house versus how things are done in a social setting here. So how was the navigation then?
So I think navigation wasn't that difficult. When I look back, it's always, I think, like everything was here for me. I was putting barriers on me. I was putting myself in that box that I used to think I should not cross this boundary or something like that. Because I remember at UTD, during orientation, they had told us one thing, that when you meet different cultures, there is no right or wrong.
So
something which is like right for your culture or for whatever upbringing you had, that thing might be right, but it might be wrong for some other person. So just have that thing in mind and just remember that. So you don't have to put everything in like right or wrong box. And that stayed with me. And I never felt like any kind of discrimination, I don't know, for the lack of better word, from anyone outside. I always feel like it was inside me. It was not like someone felt me like that or someone made me feel like that. It was never like that.
Okay. So since the path that you are on right now in the education system with your doctoral in the public health, how did that come about? I want to ask two supplementary questions here. I'm just giving you the direction so that you can frame your answer however you want. Basically, you have two young kids. So navigating home responsibilities and completing a course that is as demanding as a PhD. That angle I would want you to cover. And secondly, where do you see yourself after completing your doctoral program?
Okay, yeah. So after doing my masters, after completing that, I had like two young kids. So at that time I did not have EAD for a year or two. So I was like fully focused on them. And after that, once I received my EAD and my daughter, she was like growing up, she started going to preschool. Then I started looking for opportunities. But and here I would like to mention that unfortunately everyone says, if you are your mother and if you are taking time out for your kids, everyone appreciates that. I didn't see that in the job market. Because I already had my dental degree, I had my master's degree, I had law degree. So when I used to apply for entry level job, I was overqualified. And when I was applied, like I used to apply for like little senior position, then I did not have US experience.
Very challenging.
It was very challenging situation. I had applied to so many jobs. Every day I used to apply, and the worst thing is like very few used to respond saying that you are rejected. Even if I used to get that response like you are rejected, I used to feel better because at least they acknowledge. So I like that thing was happening. Then I was like, okay, what else I can do? I can do. So I remember that I went to UT Health, my alma mater, where I did my masters. I went to visit that dean, and I wanted to ask her like, what should I do now? Should I do PhD or there is another program called DRPH, Doctor of Public Health, in our public health. So I wanted to check. I wanted to discuss that with her, and she was nice enough that she gave me 1 hour, and she very nicely she talk like all the what you should do, what are your interests, based on that how you should navigate these two paths. And at the end she told me like she's also Indian American. So she told me one thing I want you to remember: don't look down upon yourself. And that was like, oh my god, dean of a college, like she's telling me that means she said like being Indian, we come from a patriarchal society. We always feel like that, or we have been taught to feel like that way. So remember that. And that was again, that was trigger. And then that is also a funny story. I applied for first time. I applied to PhD, and I was very like my application was not at par. I did so many mistakes. Obviously, I did not get selected. Second time when I applied, I made so many changes. I improved my resume. I did so many other things. So I think my application was at par and it was competitive enough. That's what I felt. I did get selected for interviews, but unfortunately they did not find a match for me. So for PhD you need to have match for your research topic. They did not find a match for me, so that reason they gave me second time. And at that time, you had like, I had so many hopes and everything happened. Like I cried. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to apply again, and I didn't. So then, but when I started working in the community, somehow like my now guide, we met in a community program, and she asked me like, okay, you have public health background. We are doing some project. Would you like to be part of it? I said, yeah, Neki aur kuch, why not? And I worked with her, and somehow like she liked my working style and everything. She said like, why don't you apply? I'm like, no, I'm done. I don't want to apply. I don't want to apply. But she told me her story, like how they navigated those challenges and everything, and that really inspired me. And this time I think my application was like much competitive, because I had already done a research project. I was working in the community, and then I got selected. And I am, I think I am blessed, because the kind of work I'm doing, I love it. And I don't do it because I want to do it or because it's my work. I'm doing it because I feel it's a need. When I was working in the community, when we work for Prerana, that's like, we feel like it's a need. Someone should do it. Then why wait for others to do it? Let's do it. Same way I feel like whatever projects we are doing, I strongly feel there is a need. So I don't have that, because it's a passion, then it doesn't drain me. It gives me energy. It gives me energy to work. So that's when I think that answers your second question. It is challenging. It is very challenging.
It is unimaginably challenging, especially with the schedules and everything.
Yeah, I have my college is in Fort Worth, so I have to drive. It's 60 miles. So now I remember first time when I drove from home to UTD, first day by myself, I was crying. I was literally crying. And from that point now, I enjoy my 60 miles drive, 60 miles one way. I think I'm proud of myself. So it is challenging, but here yoga helps me a lot. It really makes me, it has equipped me so that I can keep my calm. I'm balanced that way. Definitely I lose mind so many times. It happens, but I come back to normal again. Like it literally, like it is like my anchor, which holds me at my position. Even if like something happens, I go a little far away, but I come back. So that's how I have been managing, and definitely it's not possible without my husband.
Oh, of course.
He is a strong support.
Of course.
Otherwise, it would not have been possible.
Okay. So where do you see yourself next? When is this doctoral program ending, and what's next for you?
So I'm in my third year. So next year, it will be my thesis, and I'll be done after that. So I think the kind of work we are doing, we mainly work for immigrants health, South Asian immigrants health. I think I would like to do the same work, maybe in either in any South Asian center or any research institute or as a faculty. That's how I can see now, but I don't know what will happen after 2 years.
Okay. So you will continue to be in public health and continue
obviously
to work for the community.
Of course.
Okay, that's nice to know. So there is, what is the cultural point of view? What is it that you hold on to the most as far as the upbringing of the kids is concerned? Like you want them to be Indian and you want them to learn some good American values. So what is it that you're holding on to the most?
So first like you asked that decision about you asked about that decision when you decided, like do you remember that? So even we decided that, the acceptance came on like very late. After having my daughter. That late, yeah. Because for me, the biggest fear was, okay, even if like someone take me out of India, no one can take India out of me.
Yep, certainly.
Yeah, 100%. Because we grew up there.
Yeah.
But how am I going to impart those values in my kids? That was my biggest fear. Still, I have that, and I really want them to have best of both the worlds. I'm not saying like they should learn only about Indian values or anything. They should learn everything, but at the same time, I always feel like for like being a confident person, you really need to know your roots. If you know your roots, then only if your foundation is strong, then only you can stand tall on it.
So I should be deep enough for you to take that flight.
So I want them to know who they are, I want them to know their roots, and then sky's the limit.
Amazing. Did they come back to you at some point in time and ask you that, okay, my friend and he or she did this in a certain way and we don't? So any such funny incident that you remember that, or something that happened with you?
Yes. So, I think I can say, at least like now both of them, they know who they are, and they are proud of it, I feel, because like my daughter's school, she's in 3rd grade now, but in 2nd grade, they were having some conversation. And they were talking about like different cultures and everything. So she stood up and she talked about Krishna or something. And then the other guy stood up and he said like, no, there is only one God and that is Jesus. She stood up and she said like, no, every culture has its own God and you need to remember that. And teacher applauded her for that. So I think that is what you need. Like everyone should respect each other.
Exactly.
And I think they understand that. That is important.
Exactly. How nice. I'm going to take you back to your education journey. When we were talking about this particular podcast, you told me the Houston incident. Would you want to kind of share that with our viewers today?
Oh yeah. So
how did that happen? You were completing a course and then that opportunity came about?
I had completed my course. I had my daughter. She was 6 months old, and I got this opportunity at MD Anderson. And my EAD, the employment authorization document, it was like we had applied for it and it was in a process. And it was in a process, so I had the receipt, and with who interviewed me and everything, I told them the situation. She was sweet enough. She said like, okay, don't worry, you come, you start, and once you receive your EAD, you can start as a volunteer or intern, and once you receive your EAD, we can start you on payroll. That was the discussion. And we thought like, okay, so it was MD Anderson's, it was downtown. So we thought like my daughter was really, she was really young. So we thought like we'll find some apartment in downtown so that I don't have to travel or anything. So we were here in Arvin. We sold our big bed. We sold our washer dryer because it was really small apartment. And we moved to Houston. And on the day of joining, there was reorganization. Reorganization happened in MD Anderson, and the new director who came, she said like, sorry, we can't hire you because you don't have EAD.
Oh,
it happened
just like that.
Just like that. So when I still remember, it was 5th of April, I guess. It was my joining date. I joined, but my EAD was not there. So the previous director who was there, she said like, don't worry. She wrote a letter that we want this employee. Can you please expedite her process? And she was nice enough to do that. And I came, I submitted that, and then within 3-4 days, this reorganization happened. Who was my previous director, she got laid off. The new one, when she came, she was like, sorry, we don't have space for you. And I got that call, before joining, I got laid off before joining my first job. And then after 2 days, my EAD came.
Oh wow. No, today you are able to laugh about it.
Yeah, but it was
how did you deal with that is an all-time low. I mean, you never think that something like this is going to happen.
I was going through postpartum depression. My daughter was 6 months old. I thought I'm not going to do anything in my life. At that time, I was like, I don't know. I literally stopped thinking. I was not at all thinking anything, but only my husband said, what should we do now? It was not even a 15 days.
And you were already in Houston.
We were already in Houston. And his H1B is location based.
Oh.
So he said okay, we cannot take risk with that because then I have to file it again because my location has changed.
Yeah.
So we came back again.
Oh. In a span of...
Yeah. So that day or next day, one of our friend, he was supposed to give our apartment keys to the office.
Oh, to the office.
So we called him, please don't give it. We'll go and we'll rent the same apartment.
Wow. What a story. I mean,
yeah.
So again, how did you come? This is not an easy situation to come out from.
Yeah.
So how long did it take? How did you find your support system while you were at it?
It was definitely not an easy thing. But at that time I knew okay, if at all I'll do something in my life, I'll help those women who are on dependent visa or who are immigrant women. Because I have seen that Thankfully, my husband, my family was very supportive. But I think one thing really helped me is like when I started yoga. My practices like yoga is not, it's not only about exercises. It's about like it. I feel like yoga equipped me, or it gave me those tools which really helped me to navigate these challenges, and like it helped me to come out really strong. So that really helped me a lot, I would say.
And did you find any community, local community, where you could lean on, and any that experience that is really heartwarming that you would want to share?
So again, when I look back, I feel like we have those barriers here. So that was my all-time low. I thought like, okay, now nothing is going to happen in my life. Let me help others. Let me help others who are in that situation. And I started working in community. I started, and literally I went out and shamelessly I used to say like, I'm open for any opportunity. If you have anything, let me know. I used to do that.
Yeah.
Literally shamelessly. And then
no, it's not, I think it's not, let's not use the word shamelessly. Let's say that, I would say honestly,
I had nothing to lose.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So that was the thing. But then things started changing. And one thing I really feel like, okay, I was in that situation, whatever my experience is, let me help others. Because now at that point I used to say, okay, am I the only one who is that dumb?
Yeah.
Nothing is happening.
Yeah.
I'm not getting a job. Nothing is happening in my life. I think I'm the only one. But when I went out and like when I started talking, oh my gosh, I realized like, everyone goes through that.
Yeah.
So even that little bit of courage, oh, I'm not the only one. Everyone goes through that. So that gave me so much courage.
So do you think we don't share as much as we should?
Yes. I really feel that, especially when we are vulnerable, we should share that. Because it gives like sharing your story, it's okay. Sharing your story, every single person goes through that. So I think we should share more. That's when we came together and we wanted to have that platform where we can we can inspire, empower and connect each other. That's when we started Prerana.
It is not all about your Instagram stories, the vacations you take.
Exactly.
It is about your internal, personal struggles, and that's when you need the other person the most. I feel,
Yes.
And as you rightly said, that if you know that okay, even she's going through the same, and I can maybe talk to her and feel a little bit better.
Yes, definitely, much better. When you know that she has gone through that, then if she can, why can't I?
Exactly.
That gives so much courage.
Exactly. Amazing. I would want to maybe know that initially when we all come here as immigrants, you're always comparing your life here with what you had back home. The first vacation you take back home, oh my god, this is so nice, I have help here, I have my parents here, and then there is so many food options and things like that. When actually did you feel that now this place is becoming your home?
It's a very good question. When I visit India, still I cry when I come to US.
Of course, yeah.
But at the same time, after after a month or so, I start missing this place as well, like my home. And I feel like it is acceptance. Once you get that acceptance, I think, as I mentioned, like when I started my yoga practices, slowly it happened very organically.
So the internal change,
perception, how am I looking at the things? It's like, okay, this is reality, it's not, don't control the controllables. So why should I control it? Let it be. Now this is my home, what can I do to make it better, to make my life better?
In the similar context, when you are trying to root yourself in a culture, in a country, in a place like the US, we call the US a melting pot, right? What has this country given you in the past several years?
So much. It gave me the perspective that no other place would have given me. I started looking at people as a human being. I feel like, as a human, we are same.
Yeah.
Our emotions are same. Our pain is same. Everything is same. Only thing, like the way you react, it is because of your experiences. The way you have lived your life. Same way. The way I have lived my life, that shapes my reactions. my responses. But at core, you and me are same.
We are the same.
So
exactly.
yeah, that perspective helped me a lot. It came out of me that that judging person, because I think we judge ourselves more than anybody else.
Yeah, the tagging, the judging, all of that. Okay. Since we are coming towards the end of our podcast now, any specific message or any learnings that you would want to share with our viewers, those who are not maybe in your situation today, but they were in your situation, they could have done better, or those who are planning to move to this country and they are also wondering how to kind of navigate the whole situation. Any learnings or any insights that you would want to share with them?
So I think this is one thing that I mentioned, like we judge ourselves more than anybody else. So have open mind, and I think today's generation is so smart. So they know like everything more than like people. They know more about US than we know here.
That's true. I think the internet and other things.
But still, I think when things hit really hard when you have kids. So I think it's very important to know what you want for your kids. At least like what values you want to give them, that you should know. And especially for women, I would like to say, like don't let your dreams go off. Please keep that fire burning,
fire alive.
Yeah, please, like don't give up. There are so many resources, so many avenues. You just have to find.
Exactly.
Don't blame yourself. Be generous to yourself. Be kind to yourself. That is the most important thing women should do.
Okay, so you'll get there.
Yeah,
one step at a time.
one step at a time.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shilpa, for sharing your core, sharing your story with us. Even if one person tomorrow is going to find some kind of an inspiration, some kind of a solace, I think we have achieved our purpose. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks a lot. So this is it on the Storykeepers for today's episode. Thanks a lot who have joined us today, and see you on the other side. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.